welcome to It's Always Something. I'm your host, Christopher, joined by my co-hosts, Rick and Mehdi. So we are Be the Change Youth Coalition, and we are here to educate our community about substance use and mental health. And the Be the Change is divided amongst 4 groups. The 4 groups are the Summit group, the social media group, and also the research group, and us, the podcast group, of course.
Today we'll be going over and talking about the Summit, an annual event held by BTC. And we will be interviewing 3 of these said group members to learn about it.
Perfect. We should start with the first one.
First we'll be interviewing Mary Beer, the founder of BTC and one of the
Pacifica City Council
person, yeah. So I like to hear.
That's right. Good job.
Yeah, my bad about that.
I told you.
My memory's a little
I got your
whack.
back.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Mary. We really appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. It's so fun.
Thank you. The first question we'd like to ask you is, could you give us a brief history on Be the Change?
I absolutely can give you a brief history because 20 years ago, on February 4th, 2005, my nephew and his friend were killed in an alcohol-related accident here in Pacifica. And I've been reflecting on that a lot because it's been 20 years. And so we have been doing prevention work in Pacifica and across the region for that long. And I've got to work with so many young people. And the youth leadership component of our program is the most important part. And also, it's the most fun. And so, that's where my cup gets filled. That's where I always feel good. And I get to know all of you and watch you grow, which I have done with all of you. I mean, you came, you were freshmen, remember that?
I remember that.
Oh, so much fun, huh?
I came sophomore year, but
it was crazy.
These two are freshmen.
I'm a freshman right now, and I already, love your energy and everything. I love BTC and the whole format of it.
I really appreciate that. And I have your whole family.
Yeah, I know, so it's...
But that's what I get to do, right? I get to know families and all the young people, and it's so fun. Mm-hmm. But really, the most important thing is the work that you do. And so peer-to-peer education is super important. And so when you're getting out there and you're sharing messages here, people are listening, people are watching. And the youth-led research that we do has led to policy change, which creates community-wide changes. And that's what we want. We want to create better communities, right?
That is true.
And that's why we do the work we do.
That is true. I love Be the Change.
I love Be the Change,
I believe
too.
it should be in every city.
Yeah.
Well,
it really should.
That's the dream.
That is the dream.
Is to have
it should be a goal too, right?
Yes, to have a group on every campus.
That'd be sick.
Definitely.
But that takes money.
It does take a lot of money.
Yeah, and all of our work is grant funded. And so if we lose the grant, we lose the program. And so that's been a little stressful. But we've made it work over 20 years. So we keep getting refunded, and I keep writing grants, and so something's going right.
Yeah.
Because this is an awesome organization. I'm really happy to be part of it. We all are.
We all love it.
They can be off the whole podcast group.
Yeah.
Well, it's been really, really awesome to see how far you've come. So.
And we're all very looking forward to the summit. What are you looking forward to at the summit?
I cry every year at the summit. You know why? Because you work so hard all year, and it's so stressful, right? It's stressful setting up and getting everything right, and then y'all hit the ground running, and you do the most amazing work. And so when you get up there and you start presenting, and you're doing small group conversations at the tables, and it's just, I'm so proud. I'm so proud. And so that's what I look forward to, is really seeing the end product, because it can be super stressful leading up to it.
Yeah.
But the end product is always awesome.
I bet.
Yeah, and we always get really good feedback from the people who come. They learn, they have fun, they get prizes, right?
Yeah, prizes are sick, right?
It's fun.
And the learning part.
Yeah.
It'll be my first summit, so I hope I enjoy it.
I'm going to put you on the mic a lot.
I mean, I expect to, get on the mic a lot, trying to see what's up,
Yeah, good.
I mean, we'll be running our own thing at the summit too, which
That's
we'll talk
right.
about later this episode.
Yeah, where else do you do a live broadcast, right?
I mean,
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's sick. That's what I like about Be the Change.
Thanks, PCT.
Thank you, Pacific Coast Television. Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you. And what are some future plans for the Be the Change Youth Coalition?
I was just talking to Sarah about that in the car on the way over here, because it's time for us to really look at what's going to happen next. Some of my interns aren't going to be able to come back, and we have to decide how we're going to divvy up the work. But really, what I would like to see happen is to have one project lead on each campus, one group on each campus, and then come bring all the groups together to do the summit. And so that's the dream.
That sounds like a sick dream. So
Yeah.
each campus in the Jefferson Union High School District?
Correct. Yeah.
All 5?
All 5.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. Is there any possibility of other school districts, or is that too far out?
Well, there's only one of me. It's a capacity. It's always about capacity, and capacity means funding, resources, people, right? And so those are the 3 things you need to run a program. So it always depends on what we have, how much we get to do.
And is there any organizations we could potentially collaborate with?
Absolutely. And what a great question. Yeah, we're collaborating right now with Youth Leadership Institute, right? They're coming in, they're doing our trainings. Y'all had trainings with them,
We
right?
did, yes.
Yeah.
They are so good, and we've been working with them the whole entire time for the whole 20 years. And so it's good to have them come back in the house and bring us some information, and you get to learn from other people. And I think it's helped us.
It has. I
Yeah.
feel like it helped my group significantly, and I've been seeing all the other groups be effective very positively.
Yeah.
From that.
Well, I'm really hoping to get our group up in front of our city council because, our council members could learn a lot from y'all.
That sounds like a
Yeah.
good
Sounds like a
one.
great idea.
Yeah,
Sounds like a great
right?
idea.
Do you have any questions for Mary?
Do you have any questions for me, Rick?
What's your favorite aspect of BCT or BTC? Sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always do that, so don't worry. I always do that. You.
The students?
It's the young people. It really is. It just keeps me younger, keeps my brain younger, right? I don't know
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're
about
around
everything
us.
else, but my brain stays young because I get to be with you.
Aw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
That's
my
sweet.
favorite part. And even when it, was hard at first, and then, so really, I guess it's watching you grow.
That is true.
Yeah.
We grow up with you
Be
for
kind of corny, but it
multiple
really
years,
is
right?
beautiful to see you evolve into young, wonderful people.
and then we're shipped out to college.
You're shipped out to college, but don't forget, it looks really good on your college apps.
Uh-huh.
All the work that you're doing here is very important work. And sometimes the students who've been in BTC, they don't know it at the time. But when they're away at college, they'll contact me and they'll be like, I didn't understand how important the work was that we were doing.
And what's awesome is that we can take what we learned from Be the Change and we can apply it in college too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In case we want to do something on a college campus.
There you go. That could be the future
There you go.
right
Yeah.
there.
We make Be the Change too.
Be the change too.
Yeah, Be the Change too. We make multiples, yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for having me here
Of
today.
course, Mary. it was
Thank
nice
you for
having
being
you.
here,
Yeah.
Mary.
Thank
We
you.
really
You bet.
appreciate it.
My
appreciate it.
pleasure.
Thank you.
I'm handing the mic back to you.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
He's got you.
I got you.
Thank you.
Of course. It was nice having you, Mary.
Thanks, Mary.
Round of applause for Mary.
So, who's our next guest?
Next up, we'll have Sarah from the research group, one of the many groups in BTC. She'll be coming up right here. There you go, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. How you doing?
Guys, pretty good. How are you guys?
We're
Good,
chilling.
good.
We're fine.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Of course,
Appreciate
of course.
your time. We want to ask you a few questions about the research group. The first of which questions, what is your team currently working on?
Okay, so right now, I think Mary alluded to this a little bit. We are working on trying to present our research to City Council. So just today, we were looking through all of the data we've had the last 2-3 years, and we were trying to pick out the most important key points of that data and also what we want to do with that data. So say one of the things was a statistic on the lack of overdose prevention, where we were talking about how we can bring more education on that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys did this year?
This year, a lot of it we have gained a lot more members of the research group this year. And so a lot of it was just updating them and keep helping them learn what we've done the past few years and catching them up. But yeah, a lot of it has just been trying to compile and really just try to find the key points in our data and how we can make an impact with that data.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What are you guys going to do at the summit?
At Summit, we are planning to present that data and give a call to action to the community based on that.
That's good. I'm excited to see what's going to happen at the summit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
excited
there
to
any
see how it'll turn
challenges
out.
your group faces working on this information?
A lot of it is just how to get it going. Like, we have the idea of, say, oh, we want more education on substance use, but it's really just about how we want to execute that and who we need to work with to do that.
Because there's lots of people involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. I feel you. Thank you so much
Yes.
for being here.
Thank
We
you for
appreciate you
having
being
me.
on the podcast. Thank you.
Of course, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Round of applause. Next up, we'll have from the Summit group, Theodore. No, very, very nice guest. Love him.
South Theater.
How's
How
it
you doing,
going?
Theodore?
We're doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
That was great. That's great. So we're very glad you came.
Thank you.
What is your group been working on currently?
So we work on a lot of things. The main thing that we work on is the presentation. When we get closer to the end of the year, closer to the summit, we're also going to be working on setting up for the summit. But as part of the presentation, there are many components. In fact, we have 2 presentations, and we have for many years because we have so many people. For each presentation, we have a video that we film and we plan out, we film it, and then we show it in that presentation. We've already made the video for the summit, for the substance abuse group. And in fact, today, my peers in the summit group are filming the video for the mental health group, the mental health presentation. And so for the past few weeks, we've been writing the script for that. And today we brought in a professional to help us film and make it a reality.
Oh.
That's nice. What were some ones you want to highlight from last year?
Some aspects of the summit I want to highlight from last year.
Yeah, that your group did.
Yeah, so we did a video last year for each of the presentations. We generally tried to keep the topics similar, but a little bit different. So again, it was substance abuse and mental health, but we look at them from slightly different angles. And this year, we're really trying to look at how they relate to one another and how substance abuse and mental health can feed into each other, and also how mental health and mental wellness can be used to keep one safe, and how refraining from abusing substances can keep one's mental health safe as well.
I really like that. I like that. And so you did mention a few things you guys are going to do at the summit this year, which is really cool.
Yes.
Is there anything you're looking forward to personally?
So in addition to the presentations, we also have some activities that we do. We facilitate the research group coming in and doing surveys, but we also have activities. Last year, we had people draw out their ideal communities
I remember
and
that. Yeah.
describe what was in those communities and what they would like to see in their ideal community. And then we went around and had each table present. And I think that was a really nice way to showcase what people were looking for, and also how mental health and being safe from substance abuse can be used to further our goals and what we want to see in our communities.
I like that. Thank you, Theodore.
Yeah, I love
Thanks
that
for
answer.
having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate you
It
being
was nice
here.
having you, Theodore.
Thank you, Theodore.
Round of applause for Theodore. And our last guest from the social media group, we have Ashley. Here you go. It's nice
Hello.
talking.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
How are you guys?
We're doing
Good,
good.
We're all doing good.
So what is your group currently working on? Social media group.
Currently, we're working on publicizing for the summit and making posts and getting people excited about the event. We also recently just posted like a little video about preventing substance abuse and when to say no and not to use it.
Was the Spider-Man one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember seeing that one. I remember seeing that. Do you guys have any future plans?
I think we were planning on making or having like an interview with former like drug addicts, like teenage drug addicts, and interviewing them. And then we're going to be posting them on their responses on Instagram just to like spread awareness about the issue.
Are you guys gonna do like street interviews,
No.
or like how are you gonna find these guys?
Well, okay, Mary was going to help us find some former teenage drug addicts in recovery, and we were going to interview them and have them talk to us a little bit about their experience.
Is this like anonymous or?
I think we were planning on keeping it anonymous.
Yeah, that's good. Keeping it
Yeah.
anonymous for sure. Is there anything else your group is working on?
I think main priority right now is just publicizing for Summit.
And posting more content on like
Yeah.
Insta and like TikTok.
Yeah,
That's
right now
cool.
we're trying to figure out what to do because of the TikTok ban.
Yeah.
Speaking of Summit, what are you guys doing there?
Well, first, this is going to be my first Summit, but we're going to be taking a lot of pictures, making sure we have those photos for posting too.
And lots of
Yeah.
content so you can like
Right,
repost it. Yeah,
right.
for sure.
Yeah, you know.
For sure. That's cool. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate having you. All right, round of applause.
All right. So we interviewed 3 members of 3 different groups. The first group was going to be the research group. The second one was
Summit.
the summit group,
And
and then the
then
third one
social
was
media.
social media, which we just talked to right now, which leaves it to us, the podcast group.
Yeah,
What,
podcast.
what
are
are
we
we
doing?
doing?
Yeah,
So
what are we
currently,
doing?
we're just, as of now, we're just filming podcasts
Mm-hmm.
in preparation. Kind of. Well, at least this one's in preparation for the summit. But the summit itself, what are we doing?
So for the summit, we are actually going to have a live podcast episode at the summit, which is going to be pretty sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we're going to like find people at the summit, and they're going to join us on our podcast, and we get to talk to them like we did last
short
year.
interview segments.
Yeah, short interview
Okay.
segments. And who knows, maybe we interview some like hosts we had from last year. Who knows?
Maybe,
right?
maybe.
Maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know
maybe
what I mean?
some new faces, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's
Come
your
on, good
first
podcast.
summit, right?
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
my first summit, so,
So
you
what
know.
are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to a lot, but I'm also a little nervous, you know,
Mhm.
because you know, a live podcast, so it's a little crazy, but you know, nothing too much. You know, I'm happy to talk to people and you know get to know them and see what got them to come to the summit, what got them to be in BTC. That's
Mhm.
you know that's all. That's why I'm there. What made you come to BTC?
Come to BTC. The first
Yeah.
thing, I'm very passionate about teenagers not being able to do drugs. Like I'm like very anti-drugs. Teenage drug use just honestly horrifies me. That's
Yeah.
why I'm very passionate about here.
I
And-
share that same view.
Yeah, both of us strongly believe in that.
And me as well.
So, and we really like the whole community and all that. But the podcast group, what we're gonna do, or what we've been doing this whole year, one of which you want to highlight a few stuff we've been doing.
Podcasts?
Yeah, but like
Oh, topics?
other stuff we've been doing. We've been getting some training from YLI as well,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
which has been helping us in the podcasts. And
With
we've
Daly City Youth Health Group.
and we work with our team to create these podcasts. We go over what we're going to talk about, our scripts, and our future planning, which we did actually last podcast, where
Yeah.
we planned out what we are going to do live. That was what was cool about that podcast, and that was sick.
Yeah, that first podcast, you know, I was a little nervous for that one, but you know, I'm getting used to it by
Mhm.
now. You know, I'm loving the whole BTC and everything.
Mhm.
You know, it's a great place to be.
Do you want to share some highlights from the summit from last year?
Last year, I think last year's presentation was good. I don't really remember what it was on, but I remember it was pretty intriguing.
I remember it had like a movie.
Yes, yeah, the movie with was it the drug deal one or no? Or was
I
that
think
different?
so. Yeah, where they like
yeah, the mock one, of course.
you can look at it on our Instagram, BTC Youth Co. Right?
Yep.
We have it there.
Same with the aforementioned video from the social media group member.
We post lots of content there.
I've actually
So-
never seen them, so you know, I might have to.
You don't check out any of them.
Oh,
No,
you remember? No?
no, I remember it.
No, you
I
remember.
just no, haven't seen them yet.
I'm like out there stalking the page. You're like, you're like part of the group, and you're just
I'm
like,
gonna come around to see it. I'm gonna come around to
you're
see
just
it.
like never like seeing any of these stuff.
No, I'm always there. It's just,
Oh my god!
let's just. We got it next time.
And we even like shared a room with the social media. You know, share social media posts. Like,
I
This guy's
haven't
like-
seen it though, but I'll just take
He's,
it off.
he's
of the computer.
focusing on more important things,
he is focusing on
Yeah.
one important
Yeah, I'm
thing.
focused on like.
like the podcast itself. you know?
Yeah, exactly. You know,
The podcast.
Locked in.
You're
very
locked in on podcast.
Of course.
That's sick. We are very excited for our podcast episode at the summit, and we really hope to interview some cool guests there,
Yes.
potential students,
Some
and
esteemed guests, you know?
and maybe like even like staff members. I remember
Yeah.
last year was cool. Is we got to interview one of our teachers. Remember?
No, not really, to be honest.
You remember anything?
Is that teacher still here?
I
Yeah,
remember,
he's
I remember two
Our
people.
Oceana teacher. We
I remember
interviewed
two
one of
people
them.
we interviewed. I don't remember anything else.
You remember anything else? And we got to also like interview, just like we did in this podcast episode, other students of other groups, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I'm really excited for that episode as well. That's when we come in next episode.
Yes.
Next episode, yeah.
One thing we should highlight is when the date of the summit is.
Yeah, when is it, Chris?
March 15. March 15 is when it's going to be
March
on a
15,
Saturday.
yep.
The time, I believe, is 11 o'clock.
Yes.
I believe it's
11
11.
a.m. The
11 a.m.
location is still to be determined.
But the location is to be determined. So we want you guys to follow our Instagram page, BTC Youth Co., so you can keep updated on the summit and when it's going to be. And you can even see podcast clips on there too. I mean, maybe some of you guys might have clicked on this podcast because you saw like a little clip on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
we've been posting reels there,
Yeah.
and I think it's pretty cool.
On another topic, I have a bit of an abstract question.
What's
Would
your
you,
question?
would you, if you're like stranded in a forest, would you, let's say you have to poop, which is inevitable if you're like there for a long time. Would you just use leaves or just like let it just keep it there?
How do you like come up with this?
I don't
Like, how
even
you
know
just,
how it
like-
ended up on an island. Like,
I mean, like,
Well,
how,
I mean, I was having a conversation before the podcast with this one guy.
yeah,
oh
yeah.
my
And I don't know. I was just thinking about it because like it's like one to like get out your comfort zone. You know, use like leaves when you're like you're always granted with like toilet paper and whatnot, or like just like stay comfortable, I guess, by not. But then there's like contradictions with it because like eventually it's gonna like dry up. Not from my own. It hasn't happened to me. I'm just like I'm
so
hearing
it's
what
not-
other people say.
You haven't
know?
experienced this. Oh, okay.
Not from my personal experience, because I've never done that. That's
Yeah,
disgusting.
no.
That, in my personal opinion, that's disgusting. But
You think it'd be comfortable though?
I mean, I would rather have it clean than like have it dirty, you know.
Yeah, but
Regardless of
like,
if it's a leaf
would
or
it
something.
even work though? Like that's what I'm thinking.
I was told by this person I was having a conversation with, you can find very wet leaves, like brand new, straight off the tree.
And they'll feel good.
They didn't say it felt good or bad. They just said it works.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah. So, you know,
thank you so much for watching, guys. And we are very happy to be making the podcast, and we're very excited to see you at the summit.
very
Thank you.
excited. Yeah. Thank you guys.